The four main industries in Anguilla are, starting with the one of the most significant contribution to GDP, that would be tourism, followed by construction, then government services, and then it would be banking and finance.
My lovely island, Anguilla.
Tourism and restaurants is 28.5%. Construction is 17%. Government services is 16%. And banking and finance are 13%. Those four industries contribute 75% of our GDP, those four combined. The rest is made up of agriculture, fisheries, mining, and that sort of thing, but very insignificant. Other than people, lots of sunshine, beaches, warm weather, we don't have much that one would consider natural resources in a traditional sense of the word. So I would have to say that our people are our most important asset. To develop the tourism industry, we do need to have people, actually working in these industries. So we have to train them, we have to make sure they're qualified in order to provide the proper level of services that we would need in order for our country to sustain itself in that industry. And also with banking and finance. Our industries are mainly service industries, except construction. Everything else is basically services. So you have to have a well-trained, highly qualified staff in order to advance in those industries. The official currency is the Eastern Caribbean dollar. US is freely used in Anguilla, over and under. Some of the local banks actually accept pound sterling and Canadian dollars and other foreign currencies. But in terms of going to a shop and buying something, it would definitely be the EC dollar and the US dollar. But if you had pound sterling or Canadian dollars or euro, you could definitely would be able to take it to the bank and have it exchanged for EC or US. I'm not too sure, the euro changes daily, but I know the US dollar the EC dollar has been pegged to the US dollar for the last 30 years. One US is EC $2.70. So that's been fixed for the last 30 years, very stable. We had the rum factory, Anguilla Rums. They made pirate rum. They used to export to the region and to the US. We also have some livestock, goats, sheep, lobster that goes to St. Martin, and lettuce from the green cuisine. But other than that, our export base is very, very small. It's about, in total, we exported 3 million EC dollars as of 2008. I think we've always had trade between St. Martin in terms of goat, sheep, lobster, fish, and that sort of thing. So I think that has always been going on. Everything. We don't manufacture anything in Anguilla, but our three most important ones are consumption goods like food, animals, beverages, tobaccos, and so forth. And then primary goods, which is like crude oil, fuels, mineral oil, lubricants, chemicals, and that sort of thing. And then we have capital goods, which is like machinery and transport equipment, so cars and trucks and heavy equipment and that sort of thing. But we import everything you can think of. Exports are almost non-existent, to be quite honest. So the ratio, our trade balance, is way out of whack in terms of import and exports. Because like I said, we imported 456 million EC dollars worth of goods last year, $734 million worth of goods in 2008, and we only exported $3 million. So when you really check it out, exporting $3 million to importing $730 million, the ratio is almost negligible. In terms of scope for development, I think our agricultural sector has not been exploited the way it could be. I do believe that we could produce more, even if it's just for domestic consumption. We believe our farmers, our animal husbandry, fish farming, we believe those are areas that can certainly be explored and developed. at least, even if it's just to take care of the domestic market, to lessen your imports?
Our tourism product consists of a number of different things. It includes our beaches, our accommodations, our restaurants, all of our attractions, our people. So it's basically everything that combines to make what is tourism in Anguilla. Our tourism policy is still in draft form, and it has been that way since the 1970s, but it speaks basically to having tourism in Anguilla as high yield or high value, low volume. So meaning that we're looking to bring in those persons who can spend more but have less visitors, which has less of an impact on the environment. Our tourism product, well, tourism is our main industry, so I would say it's rather profitable. It's responsible for most of the economic activity, employment, and foreign exchange generated on Anguilla. So when tourists come, when our arrivals are up, it brings in tons of revenue. When construction is up due to tourism buildings being constructed, then it brings in additional revenue as well. Tourism is most profitable in our high season, which is between mid-December to mid-April, and that is when the accommodation rates or average daily rates are at its highest, and that is when the majority of our visitors come to Anguilla. But it's also profitable when there is construction, tourism-related construction going on in Anguilla. So when there are hotels being built, our revenues are definitely up. We're engaged in different types of tourism, and if we talk about niche markets, we're talking about things like honeymoons and weddings, business tourism, luxury tourism, family tourism, and such. Most of our tourists come from North America, and that would be the US and Canada, and we have a lot of tourists coming from the places like New York and Maryland and Washington, that seaboard. This is followed by persons from the United Kingdom, followed by Canada, and other persons from the Caribbean region. The organizations responsible for tourism include the Ministry of Tourism, the Anguilla Tourist Board, the Anguilla Hotel and Tourism Association, and all other private and public institutions which play a part in tourism. But I must say at this point that tourism really is all of us business, so we are all responsible. So it's up to us when we greet visitors at our ports, at our supermarkets and our restaurants that we are friendly. It's when we give them directions. It's when we do not litter. All of us play a part in being responsible for the success of tourism in Anguilla, and we must remember that.